Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for a brand new episode of the Skylanders Imaginators Soul Seekers series here on the channel. We're getting an advertisement here for the Water Creation Crystal, a class of which, or an element I should say specifically, that has already been generated as a random battle class representative of the Brawler class, because yes, we went 3 for 3 when it came to Water Brawlers. We have 3 Water Brawlers compared to 1 Water Quick Shot, whom we shall be seeking out in this very episode, because I alluded to earlier the plan for the abandoned amusement park, stating that I shall not be going for 100% completion in order to savour the Quick Shot Imaginator from having to take on the Quick Shot Doomlander, because the fate of that battle will not lie in our favour, so to say. Regardless, we're going to do the opposite of that. We're going to seek out the Imaginator of the Quick Shot class, and then obviously, as per the norm, generate a random element as to what the Imaginator for that battle class will be represented by. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and get as close to 100% completion of this level as possible before quitting out of the level, before approaching the Doomlander fight, so that then we can spare our Quick Shot Imaginator from those difficulties. And we can still quit out the level with as close to 100% completion as possible, so that then, after some preparation work, we can return to this level and hopefully, on the second run through, get 100% completion via both the No Lives Lost objective and the speedrun objective, because we can just run straight through it, not having to worry or concern ourselves with the collectibles and stuff along the way. Now, another thing you'll notice is that between episodes I did in fact go back and revert these guys back to different colour schemes, so then they aren't decking their Christmas colours any further. So the Earth Bazooka right here, the very originally named Earth Bazooka at that, as you can tell, she not only has her donut bazooka still, which is awesome, but she now has what the game calls the Molten Mine colour palette. So she's got this teal colour combined with all the browns, which really suits her element, and they just look awesome in contrast with one another. So why would I not choose this overall theme for my Earth Bazooka right now? So let's get this pushed into place. What we need to do here is, as the objectives are implied, move the octopus. Let's take this selfie, because there's nothing better than a shark selfie. Now, who cares about the actual Imaginator being in the selfie spot here, when instead we can first of all delete Boom Bloom here, and second of all take a selfie with the shark. Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. Of course, that trailer's going to go to a good cause. The cause being this Earth Bazooka's upgrade system, which we desperately need if we're going to start tackling Nightmare mode of these characters at some point soon. But yeah, we're going to jump straight back on to that downside right there. Destroy these things to look at me funny, no for a reason, and truth be told, I don't need a better reason than that. That reason in and of itself is good enough a reason. So that's going to spin right round, baby, right round like a record player, right round, round, round. Anyway, let's make our way over this here chamber. Sweet! And then, obviously, we have the lock puzzle along the way. Okay, so I've went on ahead and skipped directly to, as I have beaten the puzzle right here. As you can tell, a chest has been added to the vault thanks to our levels of success right there. And speaking of the Imaginate vault, without further ado, I think it's about time we open what's inside, because we have a ton of treasures to be discovered. And start off with a common piece, so a rather anticlimactic start, but a start to it all the same. So now this dates all the way back to when we placed the Air Creation Crystal onto course for the first time and unlocked this set as a result. Beginning, of course, with the bird arms, then obviously we work our way up to the more exciting gear along the way. We have feathered legs. Obviously, this is going to be, I believe, a tail. A Birdman tail. That did not look like a tail from the silhouette, I will tell you that much. By the way, next up we have the head, the Cawsome head. Get it? Because rather than awesome, it's Kakawsome! Oh, hilarious, man. These puns are just, they make my side split with just absolute hilarity. But either way, this ninja pack is what we got as a gift from Titan Pro. We did mention him in the previous episode about having placement on the portal off camera, so that is where that piece of back gear came from. By the way, we now have even more gear coming from us as gifts by none other than Wildstorm and Bao Juju. Again, characters that we placed for the first time during the Dragon Temple level. So we're still receiving treasures from a Dragon Temple level. We aren't yet up to date with things. Here's a gift from Aurora from when we first placed her on the portal. At least now we've made it to the previous episode where obviously we tackled all of the cake parts, or well, I wouldn't say we tackled them. If we tackled them, they wouldn't be particularly useful on our cake now, would they? Because they'd be a bit destroyed from such tackling. instead what we did is we went around and gathered them all so that now we could be tackling this level instead. A level I've definitely not been dreading whatsoever. My tone of voice, do not read too heavily into that. What is found within my voice right now absolutely has nothing to do with dread, nothing of the sort. Anyway, let's go with these folks who look at me funny, no other reason, and I think that's a perfectly justified and decent enough reason to commit murder. Air Skylanders, and now I'm just upset. Now I'm just upset because I have to swap out to one of my air senseis and not my air Imaginator because they were too busy having been defeated in a prior episode. So yes, that was rather tragic, and now I've been reminded of such tragedy thanks to nothing, you useless section. Okay, cool, let's bring back Juju Jr. because Bad Juju here is a little too overpowered and I almost feel sorry for him right now. Almost at least, but almost doesn't quite count now, does it? Yeah, get him, Juju Jr. Now that's what I'm talking about. Without further ado, let's go ahead and seek out the Soul of Tycoon. Let's preview her and see what she has to offer because, boy, this preview is going to look awesome because it is. I mean, the preview itself is awesome, but it's an awesome preview for an awesome character. This awesome character, this preview does her justice because she looks awesome in the preview, and trust me, when it comes to actual gameplay, her preview is just scratching the surface, so to say. She is incredibly good. My second favourite sensei, in fact, that's how good she is. She is near enough the peak of what Skylanders Imaginators has to offer. Not quite the peak, because the peak would be number 1, and number 1 is Flare Wolf. But we're not going to be playing either of those mentioned characters, you know, Tidepool, Tycoon Crow, Flare Wolf. Neither of them. I don't know where Tycoon Crow came into this, besides obviously the fact that we accepted his gift earlier. I suppose I said Tycoon Crow rather than Flare Wolf because his name begins with a T, much like how Tydepool's name also begins with a T. And it's confusing my brain. My brain is much confusion. Anyway, we now have Worst Terrapin. But at least that attack has knockback. That's great. We have Worst Terrapin and better Kaboom, because when Kaboom does that attack, Kaboom doesn't even have good knockback with it. It's rather tragic, actually. No one's point in having an attack that leaves you that vulnerable if you don't at least knock back enemies as a result of utilising it, mind you. Okay, these guys have got to go, man. They've got to go, especially since they're going to deal damage to me like that, and that is unbelievably rude. Oh dear, there's more. Of course there's more. Why wouldn't there be more, right? This is why we need to try and avoid hard scenarios such as this within the game, because it's just going to make it easier for our Imaginators to be slaughtered one by one. We've seen it done already with 3 of our Imaginators, so now that we've lost 3 Imaginators, my aim is to not lose any more. But then again, you know, the game doesn't really care about what I want or what I'm aiming to do. We're just going to have to teach it who's boss, I guess. Anyway, is this going to be enough for leveling me up? Of course not, because that would be asking me too much. Okay, take these things down some more. Sweet, that should definitely level us up. And now we're back up to full health just like that. Thank goodness this isn't another swap force where we don't restore our health to full after having defeated a bunch of enemies and leveling it up from the experience. As a result, a mummy guard chest. That's pretty cool. Not as cool as my Imaginator, of course. Anyway, Water Skylanders are stronger here. So what we've been doing is we've been leveling up Imaginators, making them even stronger. And that's what we're going to continue doing here with the Water Imaginator. Once again, very originally named Water Brawler, but this colour palette is what's referred to by the game as the Dark Water Cove colour palette, or the Leviathan Lagoon, one or the other, I can't remember which, but I chose a water-themed colour set because this is a water-themed brawler. Yeah, I can't think of anything more appropriate than that. Anyway, we're going to have to wait for this to continue slowly but surely making its way around here. Emphasis on slow. Let's open up the hatch right here. Yeah, now we can proceed. In the upper submarine interior, well, it's convenient how much treasure there's found around here because my water brawler is in desperate need of it, not possessing his upgrades as of yet. Or maybe he does, and this treasure could have been going to better use elsewhere. Who's to say? We're about to find out. So, what do we have here? That's already been upgraded. Oh, but our Megaton Punch has not, and we have the money for it, so why the hell not go out of our way to upgrade it now? So there's some upgrades something acquired for our water brawler. That is pretty magnificent, that is indeed. Here are the submarine spinner spams, which is a fun thing to say 5 times faster, I suppose.
Welcome to the Neptune Zone.
Thank you, Miss Announcer Voice person. I really needed that announced. Out loud. Specifically. Yes, hiya indeed, because these crates had it coming for looking me funny. No reason. perfectly justified to commit murder when things look to be funny and all that. Either way, we see a glow from a soul to having been seeped out. There is the quick shot Imaginator. So without further ado, as per normal, we're going to preview him, and as we do so, we're going to discover what element is going to represent the quick shot Imaginator class, and that will be determined by random. Without further ado, let's preview that.
Quickshot Imaginators deliver justice over great distances with pinpoint precision.
Okay then, it seems as though the random name picker chosen the dark element to represent the quick shot Imaginator battle class, so it's going to be very interesting to have a dark quick shot of all things, especially given that our two dark elemental senseis are of the ninja and sentinel variety, so it's nice to have a dark battle class that has not already been represented via the senseis there, mind you. So without further ado, what I got to find is the dark quick shot over here, and we're going to create without further ado, as we have already seen the preview right now, and we are well aware that this is a final decision. We've seen this about 7 or 8 times by now, so without further ado, let's go ahead and create ourselves this dark quick shot character. Now actually, I feel as though what the design showcases already is quite appropriate for the dark element, because it's looking like it's got stars all over its body, which is a rather galactic type look. It mimics that of Starcast to a certain degree, but we're going to go ahead and randomize this look anyway, see what kind of hilarious creation is made along the way. As you can tell from my tone of voice right there, was not expecting this masterpiece. Without further ado, let's load up our quick shot, our dark quick shot, so to say, into the map. So let's pop out of here, and what we're going to do here is we're going to quickly grab ourselves some goodies along the way, because, you know, why not? But as we can tell, the water element has already popped up here, and so what we're going to do, rather than swapping out for water element, is that this dark quick shot, as it is at the moment, is how it's going to have to fight the quick shot Doomlander. So in other words, it will stand no chance at getting through that fight unscathed. So what we're going to do instead here is we're going to go back to the MAP, because in the previous episode, or maybe it was even perhaps the episode before that, but we tackled the Dark Realm at one point and still failed 100% objectives because I managed to miss the final treasure chest 2 times in a row for that level. So what we're going to do now is, now that I've checked out a guide for where the final treasure chest actually is, we're going to go back and discover that treasure chest for the first time. But first as first, we want to collect our gift chest from placing the Dark Creation Crystal onto portal for the first time. We have some red sleeves. Yes, this is part of the Demon set, which is unlocked by the Dark Creation Crystal. So no matter what, the Dark Creation Crystal is at least fulfilled upon its necessary purpose for this series. We can at least acquire 100% completion guaranteed, because we have acquired the set in this Dark Creation Crystal, even if the Dark Creation Crystal was now to be defeated in combat and therefore be inaccessible to us throughout the remainder of the series. Even with all that, none of it would matter in the end. And we have some ultimate shoulder guards, the Star Shoulder Armor, which has duplicated the stats because it comes from Starcast, which I've now placed 2 different versions of the same character on the portal already. Obviously there's the one that debuted several episodes back, and then there's the secondary one from the giveaway also, because obviously I had to place that one onto the portal and make sure that it was reset when the person had their prize shipped out to them. So that is where double Starcast came from, and that is where obviously we have a Starcast gift, much like the first time around as well. So without further ado, let's play through the Dark Realm, hopefully get that middle star along the way. Boy, how I have missed it.
I got good news and bad news for you.
No, not good news and bad news, anything but good news and bad news. Well, I'll take the good news. The good news is great. Bad news, on the other hand, not so much. And the bad news has nothing to do with what Max is actually saying. The bad news is that this is completely unnecessary deep stew, which is unskippable. Like, as much as I try as I might, but I cannot push the rest of the video game right now for the skip button. That is just asking too much. But say I did check out a guide, and hopefully we will be successful in garnering the treasure chest this time around. And to say, we'll go back to the abandoned amusement park when we're a little bit more prepared, aka if this dark quick shot is no longer in its low status over here. If I take the selfie here, even first of all, I have no doubt that I'm gonna have to delete some selfies, and there's no way I'm deleting glorious selfies such as these. Okay, this one is rather boring by comparison, so I suppose we can get rid of it. Same goes for that one. I just have a huge bias against Boom Bloom, apparently. But without further ado, that's that. And after all of that, I didn't even get a goodie from it, because you can only get goodies from the selfie, from the dedicated selfie spots once, and that is a dedicated selfie spot that we have claimed treasure from once already beforehand. Rather tragic that, actually, but I can at least make up for that with those short pieces of treasure right there. Garnering us at least 300 treasure to start with our upgrades, because obviously upgrades and leveling up this character means that I'll have more health to boost, so I can take more hits from the quick shot Doomlander, and then obviously my attacks will also be more powerful along the way, which is very particularly useful indeed. You know, we got to defeat that quickshot Doomlander as fast as possible, because the quicker we defeat it, the less opportunity it will have to defeat us, obviously. Oh boy, that was a lot of damage, and already my quickshot Imaginator here is on the brink of death. That's not good. Not good at all. So I have a plan here, which is just to not get hit. Okay, can this level us up? No, that's clearly asking too much. Luckily, this guy isn't too hard to avoid. In fact, I don't even need to avoid him anymore because he is dead already. That's rather glorious indeed. So let's grab all this treasure right here. There's a key, which is a very conveniently placed key, because that means we can plop it right in here. Now, it might be a chest we've collected already, but that means that they have left behind a diamond for us. So we are at least going to gather that. That's some sort of treasure to boot, which gets us ever so closer to them upgrades I was alluding to earlier. So let's also destroy this here wall, and we can do the exact same as what we did beforehand, garner ourselves a nice sky diamond thingamabob. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Now, what also would be very nice right now is being able to heal up my dark quickshot, because its health bar certainly has seen better days. We need this orb to get up there, man, get up there. Now, dying in the Dark Sensei realm would be rather tragic, especially since I am tackling this in order to avoid death later on in the abandoned amusement park. So, obviously, that would be a very Uguay situation.
One often meets his destiny on the road he takes to avoid it.
But yes, all Uguay sayings aside, let's kill some more things and hope to not die along the way. Oh, there's a magic spell point, because why wouldn't there be, right? Die! Take my lack of dark powers to the face. I mean, why would I use dark powers when I have quickshot powers, which are for far superior powers indeed? Now, these guys really need to get out of here, and it doesn't help that I can't see them right now because the magic spell is doing its thing. Get out of the way, fella! We're already down to such low health, man. Kill the magic spell pump. Level me up. Thank you, Senorita. And I'm not even sure if they were a Senorita, but we take those as they come. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Ooh, what's back here? Oh boy.
I've made a huge mistake.
All edits aside, let's get back to whooping these guys' ass. And I'm hoping that in having said that, I didn't jinx myself to do the opposite. Okay, these guys can really take a hit. Man, in real life you can't take so many bullets to the face, that's for sure. But yeah, Skylanders' lack of realism is the appeal, if I were to say so myself. And now we're very close to level 4, which is precisely what we need. We can now at least equip our Imaginator with stronger gear along the way. In fact, we can also upgrade our abilities whilst we're at it. So we'll start with a marksman. Might as well get this one upgraded as we can, and so we will. And then as for gear, obviously we can start upgrading our weaponry. So let's use these bone pistols, even though they're not appropriate for a dark quickshot, as they're more of a undead quickshot type weapon. But we don't care all too much about that. We really want for things with the utmost buffs, and it seems as though this one is going to give us additional luck and speed, so this is definitely the best of the ones we've looked through thus far. Then as for our shoulder pads, we can get additional armor and luck, additional armor and speed, or additional armor. So it seems as though additional armor and luck is our best possible buff here. Okay, attack and armor, that's exactly what we're looking for. So this here, the Viking arm guards, they seem to be the best thing that we're looking for the moment being. Checking these out, obviously we don't want the common pieces because they give us barely any sort of a buff whatsoever, so that's additional speed, and pretty much the best buff we're going to get from these is speed, but I prefer attack and armor buffs. That's armor and luck. speed and luck, armor and luck again, more armor and luck. Oh, that's speed and attack. Speed and luck. There you go. Attack and armor. That's what we were looking for with the barrel backs. To be fair, this has now increased the quality of my Imaginator tenfold. It looks awesome now. In a hilarious manner, of course. So let's continue on. We don't need to head down the right path because that's nothing more than Hutsuku's soul gem, a soul of which we've already seeked out there, mind you. So let's grab this treasure as we can, so we will. Now we've got to push this to the right so it can be placed into the right receptacle in order for us to advance. Why am I even bothering like hitting these guys? I don't even need to do such a thing. Like, this is what I have magical orbs for, that can crush my opponents under their might. Oh, this is satisfying. I am very much a big fan of this right now. Okay, looks like one fella managed to survive, not for much longer. I swear if I knock this guy back into the orb, then it automatically deals for crushing damage. I mean, it doesn't matter in the end because we got there regardless, in terms of there being him being dead, mind you. That is very much where we got him. All the same, let's bring down the platform. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then we got to bring it back up again, because why wouldn't we? And I was correct for the last time I played through this level in taking the left pathway here. What I was not correct about, however, is everything else that I did afterwards. So there should be a wooden platform around here somewhere. Well, that's a level up orb, which is perfect. That is exactly what I was looking for, because that has leveled up our dark quick shot up to level 4. And now with that having been put into place, we can finally gather this final treasure chest, garner ourselves a shit ton of treasure for our dark quick shot, which once again will lead to the inevitable upgrades. And that just leads us back to the place from which we came. So all we need to do from here is continue with this orb up the left-hand pathway. We've already found all of the areas in here, so now that we found the final treasure chest, we should have all our objectives have been completed. But we're going to use this orb to our advantage to instantly defeat these enemies and garner a lot of experience all at once. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. And there's treasure too to be garnered, don't mind if we do. Get the orb into his face, that's more like it. Give me that sweet, glorious experience. Okay, apparently I can't jump onto the ledge. That seems to be asking me too much. I was very worried that that hitbox was going to be absolute rubbish then, and it was still going to somehow hit me after all that. After all of that, my evasion skills almost meant nothing, and I really should change up that secondary attack, because of all of the dark elemental attacks, that is definitely the worst one. So let's get this guy pushed into place where it needs to be, and then we can utilise this here lever. Sweet! We've got to be very careful here not to take too much damage from the enemies there, because too much damage is very much what would result in us being defeated, and therefore we'd be unable to use our good friend here ever again throughout the remainder of this playthrough there. So that's not what we want, because we want to be able to, after we have unlocked more Imaginite parts, have potential to create dope-ass Imaginators with this creation crystal right here. Let's get this orb push into the place where it needs to be, or not, I guess we could not do that. Okay, but he's dead regardless, so that's what matters in the end there. Boom! They're all taken out, and now let's utilise this orb to our advantage. Thank you, Mr. Orb, Mr. All-So-Powerful Orb. Boom, they're out of here, and this is enough experience to at least get us up to level 5, but that's not as high as I would have liked. But we are going to be concluding the episode after the Dark Round regardless, because we are already encroaching upon that half-an-hour mark, which is insane. These episodes just fly by. So, Mags, this is all great, fine and dandy, yada yada yada. Let's complete this grinding section without further ado. I want them there Imaginite chunks. Don't mind if we do. I definitely do not mind if we do. So we've completed this grind challenge already, so I'm not sure if it even grants us an Imaginite chest for completing the same challenge over and over again. I'm not certain of that whatsoever. It might be like the lock puzzles, where after you get the first Imaginite gem unification, then you can't collect an Imaginite chest from the same lock puzzle after that. You know, it's a one-time reward type dealio. Anyway, let's take that to the bank, and one last one. Boom, there we go. It appears we get the chest added to vault regardless of whether we've completed the grind challenge already. So what we need to do is we need to speak with Mags before concluding the Dark Sensei realm, and then in turn concluding the episode from there. So without further ado, I'm going to press this X button on my control, and I will see you back at MEP. Okay, we are right back at MEP, just in time to conclude the episode. So with that being said and done, let's roll the outro without further ado. I cannot, in good conscience, end off this video without first thanking all of my incredible channel members whose continued support help make these videos possible. Without them, these videos would be near impossible to make, so from the bottom of my heart, I truly appreciate every last one of them. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, there are plenty of options on screen now to explore, and please consider subscribing to keep up to date with all my content. On that note, this video is coming to an end, so thank you so much as always for watching. Until the next video arises, peace!